Good evening. Hello. Let's do some pregnancy yoga. So I'm just going to grab a pillow. Go ahead, grab a pillow. We are going to come down to seated. If you have a wall accessible to you, so just suggest you sit against the wall. Bring your, Good evening. Welcome. Let's do some pregnancy yoga. So I've got a pillow. Grab a pillow. Come to seated on the pillow. So just resting on the pillow so you can softly tilt your pelvis higher, just so you can find a little bit more length in your spine. Find a comfortable seat. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes and sigh the breath out. Good. You're going to yawn. Rock into your jaw. Lick your lips. Just let the top of your tongue just rest inside the roof of your mouth as you feel your jaw relaxing, knowing that as you relax your jaw, you allow the rest of your body to relax. Feeling your hands relax, elbows relax, shoulders relax. And then slowly drop your chin down. So you tuck your chin into your chest. Let the breath come in and out. Draw your chin down as far as you can. Welcoming the inhale in through your nose. And sigh the breath out. Just allow 3 rounds of those deep inhales. Deep exhale, sighing the breath out. Noticing how much you can relax as you breathe. One more. Trying to make as much sound as you can as you exhale. And then just with your gaze soft, gently lift the head up. Good. So root down through those sit bones, grow tall through your spine. Feel the crown of your head lengthen. Feel your collarbones opening as your chest relaxes, shoulders relax, everything's melting away. You're allowing the breath just to guide you. So as you inhale, you kind of just take in everything around you. And then we're going to sigh to exhale just to let everything go. Good. Okay. So just wrap your hands around your chest. So you're just going to squeeze your elbows into this beautiful, this is called your cow face pose. So your elbows are squeezed together and your fingertips are reaching back towards your shoulder blades. And you're just giving yourself a big hug. Deep breath in. This is really going to focus on getting that breath down into your diaphragm, because the space in your chest is slightly limited. So sending the breath down, feeling your belly expand and out through the mouth. Again, one more. Inhale. Imagining you're giving yourself a great big hug and out. Beautiful. Okay. Releasing your arms. You're going to just lengthen your arms so your hands are in line with your shoulders. Focus here on drawing those elbows back towards this imaginary wall behind you, or if you do have the wall behind you, then pushing against the wall, engaging into those upper arms, hands spread, knuckles pushed back, palms open. Shoulders high, hands in line with your shoulders. Just the teeniest movement just starts to activate those triceps. Good. Looking over your left shoulder. Looking back to the center. Looking over the right. Back to the center. And then lifting those hands up. So bending at the elbow. Hands in line with your elbows. Good. Allow the breath to come in. As you exhale, you're going to imagine there's some resistance here. So drawing those elbows together, squeeze those elbows together, squeeze those shoulders, palms come together, fingertips come together, palms to touch. And then again, inhale, open up. Exhale, drawing those elbows back together. Stretch into the shoulders. Inhale, open. Nice and slow. Exhale together. Inhale, open. Feel that energy. Every inhale, exhale. Beautiful. This time, palms plant together, elbows squash together. Squeeze those elbows together. Lift the elbows up, looking inside the elbow crease, engaging into those triceps. Sitting tall, hugging baby back into your spine. Exhale, open. Good. This time holding here again. Noticing how your back feels. So we're going to keep the arms where they are and then start to curl that back. So pushing those shoulder blades back into the wall. And then chest comes forward. So take 3 here, almost just a gentle, almost pulse-like. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more. Push those shoulders back. Good. Release the arms down. Okay. So we're just warming up, bringing some awareness into our muscles, kind of turning on things that just need to kind of be activated to then release. So we've woken up our chest, or woken up our triceps, shoulders, arms should feel quite active now. We're going to come into our connection with baby. So where you're sitting, if you need to kind of swap your leg, just take a moment, swap the legs over. I know sometimes it feels quite tight, so just you might want to bring the top foot underneath. You may want to completely change your seated position. So finding a comfortable seat, just coming back into the breath, so settling into that breath, finding length in your spine, space in your torso. Start to inhale and exhale and feel the belly expand as you inhale. And exhale, releasing back. We're going to do 3 rounds. Inhaling and exhaling. Keep breathing, taking it slow. Good. Inhaling and exhaling. 2 more. Exhale. Last one. Okay, so you should feel nice and grounded now. Bring your hands to your baby. I know sometimes just having that permission just to check in feels really lovely. So hands at your baby, and now we're not just breathing down into your belly, we're breathing space into your womb, into your uterus, into the place where your baby lives. So we're sending that breath, that nourishment down into your baby. So now we're kind of really contextualizing it. Okay, there's a reason here. So now as you breathe in, you've got purpose. Exhale, blow the breath away. Just a soft O with your mouth. This is just going to help to relax into your jaw muscles and get you into that routine of relaxing into your jaw as you breathe in and out. Good. Inhale, your belly's going to expand really big. And blow the breath out. Sitting as comfortably as you can. Inhale. Sending that breath down to your baby. Exhale, just letting that breath float out in front of you. And sometimes it's nice just to feel that breath, as it floats out in front of you, it's just on its own journey. Your breath has no indication of where it's going. It's just going, and it's okay with that. So maybe start to put yourself in that mindset where really it's all about exploration. Whether we're exploring how our body moves, whether we're exploring how our pregnancy is progressing, how our birth will progress, how our life as a mother will progress, being open to any direction. Okay, so just softly let the breath in, expanding, blow that breath out, feeling as if you're blowing away a dandelion seed, dandelion plant, letting those seeds just scatter off into the distance. As you gently blow, it's nice and controlled. And you notice as you blow, you're drawing your baby back up into your spine. So you're tucking your baby in as you're feeling that release down into your birth canal. So your vaginal muscles, your pelvic floor, everything softens with that lovely soft jaw. So we're going to take 4 more rounds, okay? Finding your own natural rhythm, whatever vision comes to you. The visualization of the golden thread, visualization of maybe a glowing light, a visualization of that dandelion, seeds paddling off. Just find what feels good for you, which works, okay? And try and really ground down, breathe and release. So your inhale expands, your belly expands, exhale. Your belly softly contracts and the breath just goes out in front of you. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Beautiful. Last one. Okay, give yourself a shake, roll those shoulders, wriggle those wrists, lick your lips. Sit up as tall as you can. Our next level of visualization is a one where we can kind of connect with the path that breath takes. So as we inhale, we are expanding our body, our physical bodies, making a space. And the breath comes in, nourishes, nurtures, makes your baby comfortable. And then as the breath comes out, we just visualize that path. So maybe we worked on this earlier, maybe we used that visualization with our golden thread, but if you can just imagine that the breath is coming down. As it comes down, we breathe it in, travels through our throat, our heart chakra, down into our womb, surrounding our baby with life, nourishment, everything that your baby needs. And then the breath that comes out, your baby's sending it back to you. So your baby is taking in that nourishment, taking in that energy, that life force. And then your baby's sharing love back to you. So hand on your heart, hand on your belly. Focus now on the inhale, the expansion into your belly, and then now focus on the exhale. So allow that breath just to travel back up through the heart center. Your baby sharing that love back with you, nourishing your heart, blowing the breath out. So it's a beautiful cycle, okay? This is your journey. Your journey as mummy and baby, or mummy and babies if we have twins. And just allow that just to transfer, the energy transfer, the love transfer, the nourishment transfer as it works inside of you. So I'm just going to say 5 rounds. Find your rhythm, okay? Make sure on your inhale, your belly really expands, your ribs expand, your whole body really opens up to allow that breath to come in. Your exhale, you've got a beautiful soft jaw. That jaw is as relaxed as possible. Your lips are just softly open and you're blowing the breath out. As you blow the breath out, not only are you drawing your belly and your baby back in towards your spine, but you're drawing that energy out from your baby and blowing it back out into the distance. So just have a moment, see how it feels. Okay, see what emotions kind of arise here, and just let them be here. Notice how you feel, no judgment, no analysis, always exploring, and let the breath float in and let the breath float out, and just acknowledge that breath for that energy transfer that it is. We're going to have one more, and out. Good. Bring both hands up to your heart center, hands in a prayer. Draw your forehead down so you can brush your third eye with your fingertips. Let's set an intention. Let's remind ourselves that every breath is a life-giving substance. The breath is life, life is breath, and you are everything your baby needs. And I may repeat the same affirmation, I may repeat the same intention, but I think it's important for us to get into that way of thinking that everything that's here is everything as it should be. Really good. Okay, give yourself a smile. Okay, so beautiful time spent checking in. And let's stretch those hips out. So we're going to roll forward, come on to your hands and knees. We're going to stretch the legs. Sometimes spending a lot of time sitting is not comfortable. Come forward, hands and knees. So you're just going to have your thumbs facing each other. Your top of the feet resting on the floor. Roll your shoulders. Slowly start to move. So this is very instinctive. Allow the breath to come in and out. So everything's really natural. And just take a moment here. So we're going to move really instinctively for a minute or so. So just rocking from hip to hip. Maybe a figure of 8. Just getting some movement into those hips so that you can just start to bring some confidence into your body, what feels good, how to get rid of those iggles, niggles, aches and pains, how to feel like you, which is very important. Because when you suddenly feel like, my God, I've got absolutely no idea how to feel better, I just need to wait for the baby to come out, it's often a little bit counterproductive, because really you two can kind of work together. So just whatever feels good, moving into those little crevices. So finding that tabletop position, taking those knees nice and wide now, and then dropping your belly down. As you drop your belly down, pushing the hips up and just checking in. So a couple of rolls here. So you're tilting your pelvis up and down. So it may not feel great the first time. It may take a couple of times to really get into that lower back and just let those hips lose some of that weight, and just drawing circles. So just semicircles, big circles, small circles, just having a little bit of fun here, because this is really where you're going to get that relief and release. Keep that breath flowing. You want to be nice and fluid, and maybe coming the other way. And then once you're feeling a little bit more oiled in your hips, we'll start to work into your shoulders. So finding that tabletop position, we're working on stretching those shoulders as high as we can. So push down through those hands, knuckles and wrists. Squeeze your belly in, tuck your sit bone under and stretch those shoulders up to the sky. Hold it here. Keep breathing as you push your shoulders away. And again, inhale. Exhale. And then on the next inhale, you're going to really release the belly. So inhale, just tilt that pelvis up, drop the belly, roll the shoulders, chest is forward, looking up. And exhale, you're going to tuck the pelvis under, stretch the shoulders high, high, high. We're going to take 5 rounds, moving with the breath. Take your cat-cow, as many, as slow or as fast as it works for you. Just try to move with the breath and make it feel quite instinctive. You may not feel nice looking up. It might feel tight on your belly. You may really like looking up. You may not feel nice even tilting your hips yet. You may really just enjoy stretching your shoulders up. So just having a play. What's going to work for you when you come into your labor, and what works for you day to day. So we're going to start to stretch out through the lower back. So take the knees out to the side and sit your hips back onto your heels as you walk your hands forward. Now you've got space for your baby here. So take the knees as wide as you can. Let your belly brush your inner thighs and reach your hands forward. Drop the forehead down onto the floor. Breathe here. Let your spine lengthen. Let your arms lengthen. Slowly starting to walk your hands back into that tabletop position. Bring your knees in together, finding that tabletop, rocking forward and back. Just sitting back on those heels and coming forward, stretching into those wrists. Good. And then sitting back on those heels, kind of coming into a upright, seated, kneeling position. Now, what I would suggest here is a pillow tucked in between your bum and your heels, just to take the pressure off, or you can have your pillow underneath your feet. But we are going to work on strengthening those glute muscles. All of the muscles around your hips and pelvis need to be stronger in order to support the weight, support the movement of the joint, help you to keep that pelvis stable, also to help you ease tension from things such as sciatica, PGP, SPD. So to do this, we're sitting kneeling down on our hips. We're going to inhale and squeeze your bum, lift yourself forward. Exhale, sit back down. Do it as slow as you can. Inhale, up. And as you get up, push your hips forward, squeeze your bum in. Exhale, sit back down. We're going to do 10. That's 3, 4, 5, good. 6. So you're really using your bum to push forward. 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it here. We're going to just draw our belly back into our spine. With your bum squeeze, we're going to just check in with our pelvic floor. Want you to just tense and release and hold. Okay? So draw that belly back in. Engage your pelvic floor. Release. Wait. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so we're just going to focus on letting the whole pelvic floor relax before we engage again. So we're going to do 10 rounds of this. And I want you to really focus on keeping that bum engaged, hips engaged, drawing your belly back to your spine, tensing, engaging into that pelvic floor, drawing everything in, releasing gently, then waiting. Okay, so we're just going to kind of squeeze, release, wait. Squeeze, release, wait. Squeeze, release, wait. Squeeze, release, wait. You really focus on the release, so we're going to blow out. Squeeze, release, wait. I've lost count. Let's do 5 more. Squeeze, release, wait. 4 more. Squeeze, release, wait. Squeeze, release, wait. 2 more. Squeeze, release, wait. 1 more. Squeeze, release, wait. Well done. Okay, sit back onto those heels, give your hips a shake. We're going to come back into our tabletop position. You're going to bring your right foot forward, right toes face forward, elbow on your knee. Just lunge forwards and backwards. If you do have any hip issues, just stay static. If you do have movement, calm backwards and forwards. Then come to stillness. You're going to twist a nice open. You're going to take the left arm up. Look up to that left fingertips. Lengthen through the left side. Inhale. Exhale. Back to the center. Again, inhale, look up. Long left side. Exhale. Back to center. 1 more. And back. Good. Swap sides. Bring your hands down to come back up. It may sound crazy. It's just not to pull on your muscle inside your thigh. So not to put too much pressure on your pelvis. Okay, so again, staying still if you have anything pelvic related, or enjoying a stretch if you do not. But beware, when you're pregnant, obviously your hormones allow those muscles to loosen slightly. So if you're stretchier than you usually would be, hold back. Okay, so left elbow on left knee, the right arm comes up, lengthen through the right side, maybe look up and down, and again up and down, releasing the right hand down. This time sweep the arm up, really good. Look up and down and release, both hands come down. Okay, so we're going to come into a half sun salutation, well, modified sun salutation. Then we're going to relax. So get yourself prepped, tuck the knees, tuck the toes, lift the knees up into your bear pose. Walk your hands back towards your feet, wriggling your hips to bring your heels onto the floor. We're going to bend the knees and come into a squat. Elbows on the knees, chin forward, chest forward. Squeeze the inner thighs. Inhale. Exhale to lift the hips up and drop the head down. Slowly walk your hands forward, come back into that bear, and then release the knees, release the feet. Take a cat-cow just to counter anything in your lower back. And then tuck the toes, lift the knees, walk your hands back. Drop the heels, find that squat. Hips back, chest forward, give yourself a smile. Exhale, hips up, head down, lengthening through the hamstrings, maybe lifting the hips up a little bit higher this time. Slowly walk your hands forward. Find that bear position, hold it here. Then release the knees, release the feet. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, stretch your shoulders, tuck the toes, lift the knees, walk your hands back. Drop your heels, find that squat. Chest is high, sit the hips back. Exhale, hips up, head down. See if you can lengthen those legs any higher. And then slowly walk your hands forward, building that strength, that stamina. Find that bear position. Inhale. Exhale, release the knees, release the feet, drop the belly. Draw the chest forward. Exhale, round the spine. Tuck the toes. Inhale, lift the knees, walk your hands back towards your feet. Drop your heels. Bring your elbows to your knees. Squatting here. Inhale. Exhale, hips up, head down. Nice and heavy, maybe swaying. Just changing it up every time. And then starting to walk your hands forward. Good, bend the knees, breathe in. Exhale, walk your hands back, finding that squat. Sit those hips back, good. Right, hold this squat. Reach your hands forward and sit back. Keep the toes facing forward. Exhale, hips up, head down. Roll up. Feels good. Come up. Rocking into your hips, hands to your baby. Couple of circles to the left, to the right. Good. Keep that movement going. Just take your feet slightly wider and your toes out to the side. So if you can get back to the wall, come back to the wall. Otherwise, you're going to have an imaginary wall behind you. What I want you to do is imagine you're sliding down that wall. Now, we don't need to go low. We just need to keep the posture nice and straight. Elbows tucked in to your torso, hands out to the side, toes and hands in the same direction. Inhale, draw everything in, stand up tall. Exhale, sit down. Don't need to go too low. Inhale up. Exhale, sit. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, sit. 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 Inhale up. Exhale, sit and hold it here. Good. So just stretching into our inner thighs, drawing our belly back, keeping that spine nice and long. Maybe rocking from side to side just to change the focus slightly from those aching, throbbing thighs. Squeeze your belly in, bring your hands to your baby, take a deep breath in, sigh the breath out, then slowly straighten those legs, turn those toes in, rolling through the hips. Okay, so just keep rotating those hips. Then we're just going to bring your hands to outside your hips. Just make sure your toes are facing forward. Just going to toe heel in. So you've got those ankles directly stacked under your hips. I just want you to draw forward, draw your belly back, drawing everything into the midline. Hug it in. Then as you breathe out, you're going to tilt forward, soften the knees. Not as much as a squat, just let everything go. And inhale, draw everything in. Exhale, let everything go. Turn to the side. It's just tilt from your pelvis and up. And this is just a really nice way to release tension on your hips, to let your belly kind of hang. Just let that movement feel nice, relax. It's also a really, really good way just kind of coaxing the baby into the right position. So if you go to a scan, you can't see very much. It's always a good idea just to have a go. If you've got a wall, which I have, use the wall well. I'm sorry if you can see my back. So just push your hips back and tilt forward. And just remember the inhale and exhale. Down to shin. Inhale up, exhale back. Good, take 3 more. So you're just being really mindful of teeny movements that will just ease any pain and just keep those hips stable. You don't have any hip pain. Amazing. But it's always good just to keep the pelvis stable. It just really helps to strengthen lower back, the core, especially for healing. Bring that to a close and come up to the stand. Just for a circle, just keep moving. I've got a suggestion for when you do feel like your hips are really locked. 1 foot forward, just almost a step. So you just got 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. You're just going to rock forwards and backwards, and then turning your back foot on a slight angle. So just on an almost 45 degree. And then come to stillness. Back hip rolls forward, front hip rolls back. Your hips are square. Okay, so always remind yourself, hips are square, pelvis is stable. Okay, so now try coming forward, walking back. Good. The balance thing as well. Use the wall. Forward and back. Another 3. But it's also nice if you are doing this free standing, stretching into those calves. Sometimes we do this on the floor on all fours. Your wrists aren't feeling it at the moment. Standing is a good option. Okay, swap sides. Whichever way was forwards and backwards, switch it over. Back foot again on a slight diagonal. So if you're on a yoga mat, I'd say the back heel is in the midline, so imaginary midline, or you may have one. And the toes are pointing up to the top left-hand corner. If you've got your left foot back, if you've got your right foot back, obviously the right-hand corner. Front foot, right foot, toes face forward. So your hips are kind of on a slight angle. Now here's your turn to self-modify. So come to stillness, hands on your hips, roll the left hip forward, right hip back, draw your belly in, hug your baby in, roll forwards and back. So you're just making it a little bit harder for yourself, but also giving yourself that awareness of how it should feel when you're aligned. Stretching into those calves. Good. 3 more. Good. Come to stillness. Shake it off. Okay. Another really great one, which I use personally. You're going to have your left foot forward, right foot just a step behind, turn that right toe out. It's really easy. We're just going to circle those hips. This feels weird without a wall. I would always kind of hold on to something, but it's just kind of giving them a wiggle. So whatever feels nice, I like to be, right foot forward, left foot back. There a slight bend, rolling those hips. It's great. It's like belly dancing. You can have your hand on your baby while you do this, whatever feels good. We're going to make our way down onto the floor. So here, so a really unelegant way to come down. Okay, so grab a pillow from before. What I would say here is different sides may need different support. So I'm going to just get you to bring both feet over to the right. I want you to sit down, not on your heels. Your heels are just underneath. And you're going to push your knees forward. You're going to tilt forward and backwards. It's not a very big move. But you're going to keep your hands pushing. It's like a posterior tilt backwards and forwards. Do this 10 times. We'll do on the other side. And just notice how it feels on each side. But in general, if you are experiencing any kind of pelvic uncomfort, this takes the weight off and just gets a little bit of movement. Just remembering to keep those knees down. And we're going to come to the other side. So come to stillness, hands on the floor, swap sides of toes, and over to the left, and remembering that both sides are different. So sitting down on that pillow or just resting on your hips, tilting forward, back. Keeping your knees down. If you feel really strong, you're very welcome. Push yourself forward. And in fact, just an add-on to what we were doing earlier. You do not need to take this option. Okay, very good. Okay, so it is relaxation time. I'm going to get you to grab your pillow and rest up against the wall. Okay, you're just shuffling yourself back. You have your feet on the floor, knees bent, and just resting back against the wall. You can have your hands on your baby. You can have your hands resting on them. You can have one hand on your heart, one hand on your baby, or whatever feels good for you. And just want you to breathe. In through the nose and out. I want you just to notice how you feel now as opposed to before. Do you feel slower? Have you taken time to just be slightly slower than usual? If you feel frustrated, if you don't feel that you've done enough, you have, don't worry. If you feel great, brilliant. If you feel unsure, also fine. This is your time to reflect. And now while you're sat here, I'm just going to invite you to really relax. So you may want to stretch your legs out in front of you. You may feel that your feet should come together and your knees should come out. But just allow your body to soften. As you breathe in and out, reminding yourself of the job the breath does. So reminding yourself that throughout your pregnancy, your breath is there to nourish you, create space for your baby to move and grow. Nourish your baby and just give yourself some loving kindness. So just bringing your focus back inwards into breath. The inhales and the exhales, how your body uses the breath, how your baby uses the breath, the transferal of energy between you and your baby. And with your eyes closed, I'm going to suggest you bring one hand to your baby, one hand to your heart. And just let the breath come in and out as you invite whichever visualization works for you. That glowing ball of energy, that glowing light at the base of your spine, which pulsates as you inhale and slowly disperses as you exhale, surrounding your heart center and floating off into the distance. Or maybe that golden thread breath. Maybe that's similar to the glowing ball of energy, the glowing light. Maybe it's gold. Maybe it pulsates gold. Maybe it's gold that travels and transfers from baby through your heart center and out into the distance. Visualizing the path the breath takes as it nourishes your baby and then in turn nourishes you. Visualizing that dandelion whose seeds just scatter off into the distance with no way of knowing where, why, or when. And just seeing if you can apply that acceptance
of not knowing where, why, or when. And where does that fit in your pregnancy? Due dates cause massive of stress, anxiety in lots of pregnant ladies. And how does that make you feel? Are you happy to focus on a date because maybe it's something you feel you can plan? Or are you more open to kind of pinpointing a month, knowing that at some point in these 4 weeks, I will get to meet my baby? Once you've accepted what you feel comfortable with and allow that to become your truth, you'll begin to see evidence supporting that decision. You'll begin to feel more comfortable with the idea of being overdue, the idea of being early, being interested in the options that are open to you, being aware of the risks, being aware of the benefits, taking advice, learning the answers, feeling secure and empowered in your decision, your birth, your body, your baby. And let the breath come in and out. And feeling a sense of well-being, strength, empowerment as a pregnant woman, mother. Knowing that whichever path you take will be the right one for you, for your baby, for your family, because it's yours. Nothing you do will disappoint me. I have no preconception for what I want to see you be or for what I want to see you do. I wish only to discover you. You can't disappoint me. Just let those words just wash over you. Bringing both hands up to your heart. We're going to bring your palms together into a prayer. Folding your forehead forwards, you can brush your third eye with your fingertips. Let's seal our practice here. Namaste.